Can you smell what the flock is cooking? Flock up or flock off, not you. You stick around because it's about to go down. You now flock with the most energetic entity in the Eagleverse here on a Maniac Monday, here with the Eagle Maniac himself. Yes, here in the flesh. And I'm so pumped because we are only a week away from training camp. But before we get into that, we got to get into what I said we were going to do over the past few weeks leading into training camp and the reasons why other members of the NFC East will not make the playoffs. And today, it is the VaGiants' turn. We're going to get into the VaGiants. Whoa, relax. And we're going to tell you why the VaGiants are screwed this season. Whoa. But before we get into that, well, we got to talk about a few other things. Well, we're going to get straight into that. But we're going to get into some of the Jalen Hurts hate that we're hearing circulated around the league, which is just wild to me and it's crazy. And today I'm watching the 2017 Eagles America's game. Oh, yeah, on NFL Network. Yeah. I don't know why I'm giving them the crazy game. Regardless of what, that's what we're watching today. And while that's America's game, some people are actually questioning whether the Eagles right now are America's team. And we're going to get into a little bit of that. But before we get into any of that, let's get the Nets keeping out of the way. Please like and subscribe if you about that fly Eagles fly. Drop a comment in that box if you're flying with the flock. Even if not, do remember join that Maniac thing. Know the gang. You hit that bell, you get a bang whenever I'm on this YouTube thing. And while that's a Maniac thing, let's keep the main thing the main thing. Hope this video found you good vibes. Fly Eagle fly skies. If you're not there, I hope this helps you get there because we're about to go there. Oh yeah, and I just can't wait. I mean, I've been looking for this since I came up with this idea. And oddly enough, it seems like everyone does this, so I guess it's not a really original idea. Maybe it's just something in my subconscious that's always been floating around because I'm seeing, and it's crazy because I'm seeing other, not so much content creators, reporters, whatever you want to call them, doing it in the same order that I'm doing it. Is just wild. I gave you the reasons why I started with the bum man. There's a lot of people think that they're the ones that may give us the hardest shot, and then I didn't want to end with the Bad Boys and start with the Bad Boys because I just feel like they get way too like really they're really not that serious. I don't even think they should be in our division. I don't even think they should be in the NFC East. Quite truthfully, like this is in Dallas, it's messing up our travel plans. Like get the flock up out of here. But the rivalry is the rivalry, and it's come to great fanfare over the past years. I mean, since their inception. I mean, weren't they like the youngest? I can't stand. Anyway, and today we're getting into the VaGiants. Whoa, I gotta stop saying that. So you got these guys, and you know, just the reason why I ended with the VaGiants is because I feel like I can't stand them the most. I've been living here for X crazy amount of years here in New York, and you just gotta hear them, their fans all the time talking trash. It's just a great time to be alive for us Eagles fans living in New York. Finally getting to make them eat some of that crow, smack them up, yak them up, get them flock up out of here. I mean, they have been the worst team in the division, some quite questionably the league over the last, like 15 years. They're trash, dumpster fire, bro. Like, basura grande. They're so bad, man. And I'm just loving it. And, you know, once again, I hopped on the AI to see what they had to say about it. It seems like our ideas line up pretty much a little bit, but before I get into mine, we'll get into this, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun shares and get into the middle of it and come to a consensus, right? So they're saying the tough schedule, offensive line woes, possible quarterback issues, defensive concerns, low playoff odds, I mean, and we're gonna get into that in the end, because usually with my team, I like to start with the bad and then with the good, but we give them straight bad business over there, and you know, yeah, I'm going to try and keep it that way. But first off, to me, the wildest part to me is, I mean, they had a tight end literally retire, go become an R&B singer just to get away from them. That is crazy to me. And then come back into the NFL the next year later. Like, you know what? Like, I think I want to play football again. Just not with them. So they buy him out. He's down there in Miami. You know his name, Wild, or whatever the case may be. He's up out of here. So that's just one reason I'm like, you know, like, people don't even want to play for these guys. You know, the organization is in tumult right now. You're seeing what they're doing with the coaches and the GMs. The owner doesn't know which way is up. And it looks really crazy over there. But on some real stuff, like, right? I see, you know, they say in the NFL, if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. But in their case, if you have three quarterbacks, they're drafting one. Like, not drafting one. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they're drafting one the following season. And you can't make the playoffs if you're drafting one. Who the flock is that? That's crazy. So you got that going for them, at least going against them. All these guys could be the right guy, but you have three dudes in a locker room vying for the top position on the team. How is the respect quotient, the respect levels being distributed in that locker room? I know it sounds crazy, like I'm delivering some type of equation as far as this being like some type of assembly line or something, but I mean, teams have to fall in line with the quarterback. So just philosophically, it seems crazy to me. And I can see if perhaps, you had a vet and then a rookie, but they've got 2 vets and a rookie, and then everyone's thinking that the rookie's going to be the one. So now you're undermining the top guys. I just think it's way too much of a mess for an offense to cohesively evolve, get better, do anything with resulting in any success. Yeah, man. Nelson Aguilar was a beast. Yeah, I know I'm not dropping babies. I caught the babies. But I mean, they were on fire, man. The celebrations 2017 was dope. So you got that going on for him. Three-headed quarterback issue. I don't know, man. It sounds like something out of the Odyssey, and they're gonna freeze and get turned into stone or some wildness. Medusa Gooses over here. Medusa Gooses is crazy. Because we're gonna turn them motherfuckers to stone. But yeah, so you got that going on. Then if you got 3, you're drafting number 1. That's just how I see it. And then while they have a lot of QBs on the team, the rest of the team is filled with a whole bunch of Qs. When I say Qs, I mean questions at every position. Even the defensive line. I'm not going to lie. You look at that defensive line and what they acquired, the guys on the edge. You got Dexter Lawrence in the middle, but the glaring hole in that defensive line is in the middle. And we know in this current NFL, it's up the middle. Back in the day, everyone wants edges, outside linebackers, things of that sort to help, bring on the pass rush. But it's up the middle where you kill these quarterbacks. You've seen that. If any team knows this, it will be these same Giants from, I believe, 2007, 2011. Spagnuolo implementing the NASCAR patches, this, that, and the third. And guys, they just had guys coming from everywhere, the side, the middle, wherever you wanted it, they was bringing it. But one thing that team had that this team doesn't have is a level of cohesiveness, chemistry. These guys ain't never played with each other before. And all you really have to do to stop that defensive line is, it's going to be crazy. It's going to sound crazy. Hyperbolic, because I'm an admitted Giants hater. I hate the Giants. But, the glaring hole in this defense is up the middle. Inside, who do you have to team up with Dexter Lawrence in that inside? You could just double team Dexter Lawrence and you're good. You're covered. We're running up the gut. You saw what Saquon said to him last year. You a little boy. You a little ass boy. You a little boy. Get up, boy. Yeah, so, we got that. Not to mention, we are talking about the Eagles G League team, the Eagles minor league system, the Eagles farm system in the Giants. They take guys, we make guys. We even make them into Eastern Conference, Eastern NFC East Division champions, Eastern Conference champions, or Super Bowl champions. We snatch guys up over there and turn them into winners. I just had to get that out there off my chest. I've been dying to say that. Didn't quite come at the right time, but I just had to throw it in there before I forgot it because, Eagle Maniac might be spinning all the time, right? So you got that going on. There's question marks on the defense. That is a question. That's a glaring question mark on the defensive line. I have no idea who their linebackers are. Okereke, or whatever the case may be. I don't think that's really something that can help them. So at every level, then you've got question marks on the back end because there's simply question marks because we don't know who they are or what they can be yet. A lot of young guys up and comers. They did pick up the Highland kid from Miami. They saying that was the best safety out of there. It's just odd to me that you had McKinley on your team and then you let him go, but then you go snatch up this guy, and it's wild. I don't know what the flock is going on over there. Once again, there's still questions on the offensive line. We don't know what's going on at running back. The kid Scatterbo, that's one of the guys that I like, but yet again, once again, another person who's unproven. I like the Tyron Tracy kid, how he has a fumbling problem, so you got him going on. Malik Neighbors may be my number 1 pick. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. In the fantasy draft, because I just think he's going to go ape crazy, whether it's Russell Wilson or I am scared about the rookie taking over because it's not about who's getting thrown, who's catching the ball. It's about who's throwing the ball to him, right? So you've got, like I said, we don't know. Now, if it's the rookie coming out, I believe they may temper his ability to throw just because he's a youngin' and they might not want to go that route. So just what I'm saying is there's just questions all over this team, whereas I just can't see them. Initially, I thought much of the rest of the league, they've made some additions and you're like, they could be something, but then you're just looking and you look more. I was against everyone saying that they weren't going to make it, that they're going to be at the bottom. And the more I looked at it, I was like, it's trash. It's trash over there. I don't know left from right on that team what they're doing. Now, there is a slight chance, which is the real reason why I saved them for last. The cat's out the bag. A lot of them tongue-in-cheek, right? But actually, the real reason I saved them last because they appear to possibly be the biggest challenge for us, just as far as I see it as what they have. If all these questions somehow, and we've seen it before, it's happened to us. If all like last season, we come last place defense, all kinds of holes, all kinds of things, new coordinators once again and all that. And look, we turn that out, and turn that into golden diamond Super Bowl rings. You heard me? So there are ways that I can see this team more than the other ones because I see the other teams is doing the same thing that they've been doing. Like I said, the Commanders, they've been doing the same thing for the last 30 years, just acquiring names. I thought they were out of that fold, but it seems they're right back in it, and I think that's where they're going to finish, bottom of the league. Yeah, all three of them, they're going to be tied for the worst record in the league. That's exactly how I see it. So you got that. The Bow Boys, once again, they're doing the same damn thing. They couldn't stop the run last year. They didn't do anything to stop the run. They didn't acquire anything. You think that they will stop the run now, and then they couldn't run, and I didn't see anything in that locker room where they grabbed someone up that's going to help them run better. So I just can't see them doing it. And then you see these guys, all the questions that they brought into the locker room, they could actually turn out to be answers because, I mean, that defensive line is just ridiculous. Like I said, minus that hole next to Dexter Lawrence, but if that could be filled, they did pick up a guy, if I recall correctly, I believe he was from Kentucky, someone to put side by side with. Oh, was that the bum man? I don't know. Somebody got the kid. So, they could shore that up. The back end, they could shore that up. Newman, he's a hitter. You've got the kid Holland. I'm not too sure about their DBs, but I'm hearing things about them from other Giants fans out here, and you know what they think about those guys. So I really do think that they may be the biggest challenge, but it's so much that has to be answered that while they may be, it's a tiny maybe, tiny meeny maybe. Like, so, yeah, I can't see it happening. So, yeah, that's enough for them. I don't really want to talk about them anymore anyway. And as I was saying, I really don't have a transition, a caveat, anything, just that the Giants are trash, been trash, will always be trash. I mean, this is the team that got bailed out, and I will say this till the cows come home. The cow girls home. They ain't never go. How they going home because they like. But you've got the team that they were bailed out of poverty in the 70s by the commissioner, dumpster fire of a team. They give them a coach, they give them a GM, the GM gets them the coach, Bill Parcells, and then off they go. 2 championships. The asterisks right next to those. We have the same amount of Super Bowls as the Giants, at least in my opinion. The NFL has 2 Super Bowls, right? And whatever ones the Packers got, right? And then, we've got 2 Super Bowls, so I think we're tied in that era. I mean, if you ask me, and that's why I'm keeping it, that's what I'm saying. They get bailed out by the league and get 2 Super Bowls, man. That's just some ridiculous New York privileges sometimes that I am privy to accepting. But in this case, nah, get the flock out of my face. The Giants are bums. The Giants are getting screwed this season. That's how I see it going down. So flock up out of my face. And the next thing that I wanted to get into is I didn't really want to touch on this because it seems to be revolving circle. Like I always say, man, I rep the team on my chest, the team in my nest, the Eagles, baby. 24/7, 360, we fly, right? But it's nonstop with the Jalen Hurts. Hey, sometimes I just got to clap back because, like I said, while I rep the team, the name on the team on the front of the chest, that name on the back, it hurts so good. I mean, the pause. But the guy, he does everything that you need him to do. So I just had to chime in real quick. I'm cool with y'all saying he's not the best, whatever you want to call it. As long as my team is the best, it's cool. I don't need every player on my team to be the best at the position. It's a fun game. It's a fun exercise to entertain and all that. But regardless of what, I'm with having the best team. Well, that can be said. It's just today I saw another one foul, and this is from the GMs. GMs and coaches and all kinds of things. So, I use the word hate a lot. I try not to lean on it. I tell myself in my head, but that's what it comes out as, and that's the way I deliver it, and that's the way I hear it. The hate, you got this guy, number 9, all these guys, and okay, Mahomes, yeah, doing super nice. I mean, he's been in the Super Bowl damn near every year of his career almost, right? Josh Allen just super ridiculously talented, but I mean, my guy has beat his guy every time they face each other, and you're gonna ask that questions if you put Josh Allen on our team, blah 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 blah. We be this, we be that, but 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years and 1 Super Bowl win, like that guy hasn't had teams, and the thing is. And then, then you've got the Joe Burrows. I mean, it's just preposterous to me. Jaden Daniels, 1 year in the league. But this is GMs. Would you draft him ahead of Ertz? Okay. No. I try to convince myself of these things, and I don't know if it's my bias or if I'm just seeing things the proper way. You know what I mean? No, I look at the world through equal color glasses, but My guy wins. So when you're talking about the Burrows, the Allens, the Jaden Daniels, who else they had up there? Goff, Herbert, this one, that one, the white one, the black one, whoever you're throwing out there. My guy doesn't throw it. Just throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not taking into account times when these other guys have literally thrown games away while we're sitting there sometimes like, oh, he had that guy wide open. But it's a certain level of discipline. It's a certain level of a certain psyche that you have to play this position at the level that Jalen Hurts is playing it, and what he plays it for is to win, right? And everyone's like, oh, that's not a quarterback, that's a team stat and blah, blah, blah. But it seems to me like quarterbacks are judged harshly more so on that stat than any other position group. Whatever the case may be, that's over there. The thing that I'm getting at is you have to. I'm trying to articulate this as well as I can for people to understand that he's going back and he's not making the wrong decision. You've got players open, okay, yeah, and you're like sometimes like, damn, he should have let that go. But him having that discipline, wanting to make sure that guy's open is what keeps him from turning the ball over at the ridiculous rate that he did. And 22, 23, I believe it was, 23, his turnovers were up nowhere near as high as like other quarterbacks we've seen over years, but because it's Jalen Hurts, it was some crazy thing like, oh, he was throwing the ball to another team like he played for them. Wildness, like, those it was not that crazy. And when you look back, I did an exercise in this at the end of last season, at the beginning of last season, where we looked at the interceptions, and there were multiple factors that came into play. But an interception is an interception, and we can play this game all day like, oh well, that one because of this and that one because of that. It happened, it's over, it's out of here, right? So then what does he do? He comes back this year. In the first game, I have a hole in my wall to prove. Trying to throw interceptions all crazy again. I believe he's just trying to instill that confidence in his team and himself. But whatever he saw, that didn't work out. And then he went back to a conservative way of, not so much conservative, because dude takes big shots all the time. But he just doesn't put the ball in harm's way at the level of these quarterbacks. And I believe that's something that's a factor when evaluating a quarterback, but I feel like it doesn't tip the scales as much as it should. You dig what I'm saying? Like, people are like, oh, look at his arm strength. Boom, he gets 1,000 XP points. He's got this. Oh, put that up 5,000. He can throw the ball well. He throw the ball hard. He sees his eye level. He plays above his head, neck and shoulders, and da-da-da. Like, the guy's got legs. He uses them. You're going to say the tush push. Nobody else can do what he does. And I hate calling it that. The brotherly shove, the beak sneak. No one can do it. If they could do it, they would do it. Like the rest of like my coach, since Sirianni says, right? You've got that going, and I just had to get that off my nuts, off my chest, inside the mind of Maniac, whatever you want to call it. Just got me worked up seeing it again, and I just don't think people understand how great of a man, how great of a player this dude is, and what he brings to the equation. I was listening to Lord Brunson the other day, not to mention the fact, and I mean, this didn't come from him, but he reiterated my belief in this notion that's been going around. Not so much a notion, the fact that's been going around is that, without Jalen Hurts, we don't have, like, the leader quotient of it, like leadership, winning, and keeping the ball out of harm's way, I believe, should be the things that weigh 10,000, 100,000, 1 million XP. You feel me? Like, I don't even know what XP. I don't even play video games. I don't know what the flock I'm talking about. Look at Jalen Hurts, man. Yo, bro, he's putting footballs on the grill and throwing them into arches to the Olympics, man. Like, this is right here in front of your faces. The people know, the world knows who the man is, bro. And I saw someone else say, so yeah, back to Lord Brunson, he was saying, without Jalen Hurts, we're not seeing the Devontae Smith come here, and then Devontae Smith wanting a vet, or the right guys in here and wants another vet wide receiver in the room, and we're not getting the A.J. Browns who want to play for him. We don't have him a lot of putting out the amount of effort that he puts out for a guy like this. You don't have a Lane Johnson telling him that, yo, bro, he's special like you. Like, you good, you the man. Yeah, I know. Like, you know what I mean? But, you still got those guys. But you get what I'm saying, man. A leader like that is not a dime a dozen. Like, this guy is a rare, like he says himself, a rare breed, dude. And I think people out there, and the bottom line is, they don't like us, we don't care. I could give a flying flock and flock, right? But it does irritate you sometimes. I just felt the need to get that off my nuts, get that off my chest real quick. Not to mention, you've got him, he gets these guys, he's a leader, and there's just so much. The Super Bowl, and then I heard someone else say, they're talking like, who was it, Bomani Jones? Ryan Jones was the one that said the slick, funny stuff, so I don't think it was him. Maybe Dominic Foxworthy. Somebody out there said it, that, he gets the It feel like he gets the Jason Tatum treatment. Like if there's anyone in football, because I'm not as much as I can't stand the Celtics, I am not a Jason Tatum hater. I think the kid is amazing. Sometimes he leaves a lot to be desired as far as celebration and authenticity. You know what I mean? Which I think is what people feel about our guy. But even like in this wild to me, even Boston fans hate Jason Tatum, and they brought him a flock and chip. Like, oh, he didn't win MVP. And to me, if you're watching, if a guy's doing everything, I know, like. A lot of this is entertainment. I get it. But the dude led him in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, every damn stat. But because Jaylen Brown knocked down one game winner and had the points, I think he had the points edge. So let's give this guy the MVP. And there's not to poo-poo Jaylen Brown, good player and all. So, however, it's just this weird hate that they have. I think it's a light skin hate thing, man. I don't know, man. What are they doing, man? They try to phase us back out again. I try. I want to be light skinned when I want to be, but I'm also brown skinned. I'm dark too. I'm tripping over here. This is why I need therapy. However, you've got Jason Tatum receiving all this hate and all the greatness that he does. But when it comes to Jalen Hurts, sometimes, I do listen to him. I'm like, yo, our boy is going. And then sometimes it gets a little preachy. I don't know, but then it's very stoic at times too, and sometimes people may want more from that. But I'm good. I love the Jalenisms, like the Hurters and Jalen Hurtsisms, whatever you want to call it. The things that he puts across at these press conferences, I go crazy for it. Sometimes it's a bit of a stretch, or some it might be something I heard before, like, okay, cool, like you're recycling now. Come on, give us one of the real ones. Something new, my dude. Get it out there, man. But regardless of what, I just respect him as the leader that he is, and like the hate just comes from a weird place. Like I believe that was Bomani Jones talking about his wife, looking at him and he's mad, like he suffers from pretty boy privilege or some craziness. Like I don't know, I don't get it. It's some weird dynamic. Not everyone's Eagles fans, and they're not going to look into it the way we look into it. So you've got to take that into account. Like, look, when I'm sitting here talking about the Giants, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Cowboys, as far as why they won't make the playoffs, I'm pretty sure you get a fan of each one of those contenders to come back on here, holler at me. They're going to have some pretty great things to say about the teams. They're going to know their team more intimately than I would. So these people, I guess, are talking about so many things, and then they're looking at the shiny toys, man. But you remember, like, yo, bro, this is not always the shiniest toy, even though Destro was the dopest toy, and everyone had to get Destro. I don't know why my head went there. Regardless of what. G.I. Joe, for those that don't know. Whoa, aging ourselves crazy over here. However, I guess and that's why, like I said, why I need this therapy, because while I'm talking it out, I walk it out, and then I realize, come to a bit of a level ground. Like I said, one of my main things I ever want to do whenever I started this channel is flip the pillow from the hot takes. Flip the pillow, you know what I'm saying? Be cool, dude. You like boxing, stick and move. You ain't got to explain yet. But, sometimes I just think you need to cool out, and that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I guess I could understand why they wouldn't know what we know, why they wouldn't embrace him, how we embrace him, because he's out here simply just killing the rest of the league, macing you mofos. Y'all can't do nothing about it as long as he's here, and that's just the way I see it. So while he's the most hated in America, this is why I think him and the team is still to be the most hated in America. But I still do believe, at the end of the day, we are America's team, because I don't know if you know, after almost 250 years, they just made it official the other day that the American bald eagle is the official bird of the country. Like, dude, I thought this was something that happened a long time ago. Much like I thought, like, everyone loved my team a long time ago, right? But regardless of what, it was not the case. It was not true. But now it is official. They stamped that because the Eagles are every flock and wear. And now they're just saying, yeah, that is the official, look at Nick Foles, man, the official bird of America. Let's flock and go. And that's why we should just, it's just automatic that we should be America's football team. Like, what are you talking about? We're the Eagles, the bald Eagles. We actually have a bald eagle on the team right now, and the visions and the guys in the face of one Zach Bond. Like, come on, what are we doing here, y'all? Get it together. Snap into it. America's bird, America's team. 1 + 1 = 2. We got 2 chips. This adds up. Get your head in the game. That's how I can go, because you play to win the game. Said by the great Herman Edwards of the original Miracle at the Meadowlands fame. Let's flock and go. I need to put that on. I don't think I've ever watched that whole game. Yeah, we weren't too good back then. Regardless of what, to the next time, make it your best time. In the meantime, between time, keep it a green time. You know how I like to do around this time, about this time, at this time. It's always the Eagles o'clock around here. Open your eagle eye, poke your beak in, and give it a and ask these questions. What you gonna do when Eagle Mania swoops down and runs the brotherly shove on you. Say it with me. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. Let's fucking go. Pick chips. You know, you see, Fucking go. Get the flock up out of here. Go Birds. Yeah.